Greetings, peace and blessings. Happy Wednesday. I'm the Moon Mama. And today is a Mercury day. And Mercury is the planet that governs our ability to perceive reality. This is such a primary energy in our lives and what we're doing. It's like I was saying yesterday, how everything in astrology is archetypal. And Mercury is the archetype of the trickster, right? Isn't it funny how your mind can play tricks on you? It governs the mind. Mercury is the archetype in the Greek and Roman mythological tales, that the god who had the little wings on the back of his shoes, and he could go into heaven and he could go into hell. And it's important to understand that those states of heaven and hell are internal. Everything is internal. There is no outer thing that's going on. It's all an internal thing. So heaven is a state of consciousness. Hell is a state of consciousness. And Mercury, your mind, can take you to heaven or to hell. Everything in our reality is mental. Everything in our reality is created through the mind. So think of whatever you're wearing right now, whatever you're sitting on right now. Somebody thought of that. Somebody created that out of their own thoughts. The home that you live in, somebody thought of that. Somebody designed that. Everything here is mercurial. We live in a mental reality that our minds are the creators of all this stuff, right? And so, first and foremost, thought. And so it's really important to be able to manage your mind, to, I don't like to use the word control, but that is it on some level. But it's control. It's not control through oppression. It's control through witnessing, through understanding, through active devotion, right? Through watching yourself. I know when I first started doing spiritual work, I started off, I started studying in religious science. I became a religious science practitioner at Agape. I studied with Michael Beckwith for a number of years, and I used to be afraid of having negative thoughts because I felt like they were going to create my reality. They were going to make something happen. And on some level, there is some kind of validity in that, but it's not the whole story. We don't have to fear our thoughts. It's important for us to be devoted to ourselves so that we can understand where our thoughts are coming from. Why am I having these thoughts, right? So if you're having thoughts that are lack-centered or fear-based or scarcity-based or any of that, you get to ask yourself, what is this about? Where is it from? And that is the gift. Don't run from anything, because anything you resist persists, and that's just how it works for real. So Mercury is in Aquarius at the 11th degree of Aquarius, and Mercury has been retrograde for the past 3 weeks, and in the shadow window for 3 weeks prior to that, so 6 weeks, and now it has 3 more weeks of completing the shadow in Aquarius. And Mercury in Aquarius has been asking us to really come home to our divinity, right? To who we are made of in the image and likeness of God. Because Aquarius is who you're becoming, who you are. It's governed by Uranus. It was historically governed by Saturn, and Saturn is in Aquarius now. But it's this energy that is the future. That's what Aquarius is. It's the future. It's like what we're becoming, who we are designed to be at our core. And the work in that is to remove the blocks to who you really are. And that's what the Rebirthing the Authentic Self course is about. It's about helping you remove the blocks to who you truly are. And I offer the rituals and the practices and the direction and how to use the energy to remove the layers of conditioning, the layers of trauma, the layers of judgment, the layers of self-loathing, so that we can actually access our divine birthright and become who we are designed to be. So if you're interested in that course, you can sign up here in my link tree. It's a year-long course. It's $97 per month, which is a beautiful investment in your own evolution and growth. So Mercury in Aquarius, I also offered a Mercury Retrograde course, which is still available because Mercury will be in this window until March 13th. And the Mercury Retrograde course was designed to really help you catch the vision. Like, in order for us to become who we were divinely designed to be, we have to get clear about what the vision is. And that means we have to clear away our history, right? So, like, I have spent this Mercury Retrograde season really looking at the places where I have been draining my divine energy, where I've been giving my energy away without any sort of requirement, or in ways that is a deficit to myself and not as that doesn't uplift me or inspire me, really. So we get these opportunities to look back. The retrogrades give us the opportunity to look back, because we don't want to spend too much time looking back, honestly, right? But when the universe is doing it, you take it. Because when you look back, then you can clean it up and see how you have used your mind to create something that is not in service to your growth and evolution in the way that you might desire for it to be, right? You get to course correct. So these classes are helping you course correct and remove the blocks to who you truly are. And it's a really great opportunity to shift as we're living into the age of Aquarius now and moving profoundly out of the age of Pisces. Also, the 11th degree, Mercury at the 11th degree, of course. So what happens when Mercury goes direct, it stations, and it'll be at the same degree for, several days. And it's been at the 11th degree for probably about 3 or 4 days now. No, more than that, since it went direct, I think on Sunday. So it's been there almost a week. At the 11th degree, and the 11th degree is flowering. It's this beautiful universal process. Those of us who are into metaphysics, it's like the flower of life, and there is this geometrical, mathematical experience within the universe where things are always becoming. And you can see that if you are somebody who gardens, right, or flowers, right? It's like they start off in this tight thing, and then they blossom, and then they open up, and then they release the petals, and they go into another state of death, and then that goes back to the earth, and then there's a flowering that comes over, and it's a constant thing. And we ourselves are in a constant state of flowering and becoming. And at the 11th degree of Aquarius, it really is about becoming your God self, becoming who you desire to be. And I know for me, I have always desired to live in harmony with nature and all the people in my life. It's my deepest internal desire. It's not always been the desire that's at the forefront. There's so much beauty going on in the sky right now. Let's see if I can show you. You won't be able to see all the birds, but so beautiful. Anyway, and so this flowering is our natural states. If you think of who you were as a child, you're not that person anymore. You flowered and you've become something else. And how can we allow ourselves and support ourselves in our flowering so that we flower towards what we desire and not towards what we don't? And this is why I suggest turning off the TV, not listening to the radio. When I listen to the radio, you all, it is so fascinating. Like if I'm in an Uber and the radio is on, the commercials, are you in debt? Did you break your this? Are you sick of this? Are you ill in this way? That stuff influences our psyches. The music we're listening to influences our psyches. It's so important for us to recognize that we're not just these bodies, and our minds are not just these brains inside of our head. We are a constellation of energy that is absorbing everything that we touch, whether we are aware of it or not, and it becomes a part of who we are. So it's important for us to put things into our minds and our bodies and our environments that will flower us in the way that we desire. So that is the Mercury at the 11th degree of Aquarius. It's becoming like stepping into the unknown. Aquarius is the unknown. It is the future. And how you know who you are and where you are in Aquarius is by the people that are in your life with you. Where are they going? What are they up to? And if you want to see where they're going, where you're going, and what you're up to, what are they doing? And that's how you can see yourself, by recognizing that the people, birds of a feather actually do flock together. It's true. It's true. So the moon today is in Leo, and it just got there, so it's going to be there for 2.5 days before it goes into the full moon in Virgo. And Leo is the creative self-expression. It's the child, it's the romance, it's that innocent heart is what it is. It's love. And so to have Mercury stationing direct, and you are able to really do the work to see, like, where have you put yourself away? Where have you denied your truth? Where have you abandoned yourself? Where have you let go of what really has value to you to sacrifice it for somebody else's value? That could be a husband, children, boss, anybody. Where are you sacrificing yourself for others? And this moon in Leo says, come back to yourself. Like, really remember. Like, I know when I was a little girl, I loved butterflies. I used to catch butterflies in a jar. I used to climb trees. I used to run and play and really have fun. There was an innocence. And how can we get back to our innocence? The Bible says, be thee as little children, because when we are as little children, one of the things that I know about children is that they don't hold on to anything until they start to get their egos involved, which usually comes later, in their beyond 7 years old. But initially, something can happen and it just washes off of them. Of course, it's stored in their subconscious, because everything is stored in the subconscious, but they can move on. And how can we as adults pick up that childlike energy and let shit go? Just let it go, right? And do the work to let it go. And it's not always as easy just like letting it go, but what do you need to do to support yourself in letting things go? So we have Mercury going direct at the 11th degree of Aquarius, of flowering, becoming this foreign thing. You don't know what it is. Allow it, right? Be trusting. Ask, what's the next best thing? What is possible? And then the moon in Leo on the way to the full moon in Virgo. And that energy is going to be about organizing our lives and healing ourselves and really bringing our energy into being of service to ourselves. So really you want to look now at the child inside of you and ask, how can you engage your inner child in a way that will give you the power that you need to become who you truly are? I'm the Moon Mama. Thank you for being with me today. I would love to hear how you all are engaging with your inner child. What are the things you're doing to engage with your inner child? For me, what am I doing to engage with my inner child? I've been asking her, what does she need? I've been listening to music and dancing, and I am about to start playing tennis again. So I'm doing things to really allow myself to play and have joy. Okay, peace and blessings. I'm the Moon Mama. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.